Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. I am here to tell you the solution to an annoying Jeep Gladiator problem. You know, I've talked about this in a few videos because it is so annoying, or it was. And of course, what I'm talking about is the vibration. When you're sitting still and you're in drive, or even in park, it doesn't matter, and the Jeep kind of does this. It kind of vibrates. It rough idles. I've had this problem for a while. I've had this problem ever since I bought this truck. Now, just to reiterate, I knew it was that way when I bought it. I bought it for my mother, so I had exposure to it, and I knew it had a vibration problem, but it was kind of a challenge for me, right? I mean, I've had two other Jeep Gladiators and didn't have any problems with vibration in either one. So I started out with the throttle body cleansing. I got some throttle body cleaner. I took the cold air intake off and I gently cleaned the throttle body. If you've never done that, it's pretty simple to do. You just put a little bit of a cleaner on a rag and then push the little flap in. Suddenly got very bright. You push the little flap in, the float, if you will, and just wipe around the edges and then the float itself. Now, the idea there is to get any kind of a buildup that might be on the edges that's stopping that flap from closing all the way when you're sitting and idling, or closing some. So, I did that. It didn't work. And I thought, oh great, that was the simplest, well, one of the simplest things to try. So next up, via a lot of comments from you guys, I got some fuel injector cleaner. Bought a bottle of that. This is the easiest one to do, I guess. But I bought a bottle of that at the O'Reilly's, dumped it in, it filled up, and have been running it ever since. And I did notice an improvement. It seemed to be better, but not perfect. And I'm very picky when it comes to these kind of things. I guess I'm ultra sensitive to the way that my vehicles run. I can always feel the little things that are going on like that, always hear the little vibrations and rattles and things, and it drives me nuts. So I have to address it, right? So I did the fuel injector cleaner. As I mentioned, seemed to make a little bit of a difference, but it didn't completely take care of the problem. Now, fast forward to, I think yesterday or day before, I put the VOS switch or VOS switch accessory controller for lighting and things in up there on the door handle, or the grab handle, I should say. I keep calling it the door handle. It's not the door handle, it's the grab handle. And what I'm talking about, let me show you just to avoid confusion, is this little beast right here. Love that thing. So I put that on, and in doing so, I had to disconnect the battery. If you follow the instructions, which I usually do when it comes to electrical type things, I disconnected the battery. I had it off for probably, man, at least, I would say a couple of hours. I put it back on. The switch works great, by the way. There is a video on the channel about that. I am not sponsored by those folks, just an awesome product. But anyway, I reconnected the battery. Of course, I had to go for a test drive to make sure the switch was working and I didn't have any rattles, because you would put a little bit of wiring in there, which I don't, by the way. And I noticed immediately that my Jeep Gladiator was running smoothly. Now, it's not to say that you sit there and it's like you're in a Cadillac or a Lexus. I mean, you are going to have a little bit of engine feel, if you will, when you're sitting still. But nonetheless, it is a marked difference. It reminds me of my last Jeep Gladiator that didn't have any problems at all, the Sport S, the white Gladiator, that my mom now has, by the way. So I'm very happy with it. I think it's a combination of the fuel injector cleaner, getting all the gunk or anything that was in there on those injectors off, and resetting the system in the form of disconnecting the battery. I think when you do that, the system kind of has to relearn everything and resets, maybe even to whatever the factory settings were. Now, it's going to be interesting going forward to see if the system changes again. In other words, if it kind of relearns my driving style and I get this vibration back. I don't know why that would make a difference, but I have heard from many people that they've noticed changes when they've disconnected the battery for a while and the system kind of goes back to default or resets. So I'm very happy with it now, and I'm pleased to say there is nothing wrong with this Jeep Gladiator. Now, it's a pretty young Jeep Gladiator. I've got 2,587 miles. It is a 2021, and the mileage is so low because Mom didn't drive it a lot. And that might have contributed some to the vibration problem. You know, a lot of people have stated that they were told by mechanics or shops that they need to go out and run it on the freeway, put it through its paces. That will even things out a little bit. I don't know if that's true. I think it'd probably be more likely that you'd have some bad gas from sitting around too long. I don't know that that was really a problem with her. I mean, she did drive it. She just didn't drive it a lot. So I don't think that's the issue, but right now it's perfect. I'm very happy with it. I'm convinced that the combination of the fuel cleaner, the fuel injector cleaner, and the reset with the battery being disconnected is what solved the problem. Give it a try. If you're having issues, what does it hurt? It's going to cost you $10 for the fuel cleaner or the injector cleaner, and maybe a couple hours of your time while you wait for the battery to reset, or for the truck to reset with the battery disconnected. And I'd give it probably an hour. I don't think you need to wait 2 hours, but you want everything to de-energize and go back to factory settings. And I think that plays a part in it as well. Anyway, if you've done that, leave a comment. Let me know. What were your results? Did it solve your problem? I'd be curious. Also, if there's anything else that you've had done in the form of maybe service at a shop somewhere or something like that that solved your problem. I'll tell you real quick before I sign off here, I did hear from somebody the other day. They had taken theirs into, I think it was the dealership, for the same problem. And ironically, the dealership, I say ironically because mine didn't, but the dealership did acknowledge there was a vibration problem. They did something, I think they did a reflash or a reset, something like that, and it seemed to get rid of their issue. However, the issue did come back, so it didn't completely solve it, which again leads me to believe that the system might relearn a bad habit and bring that vibration back. Time will tell with me, and of course, I'll keep you guys updated and let you know what's going on. Real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive Project Cars, all about currently the Mercedes C300. Got a lot of mods and things coming on that. It's a whole new experience for me. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. And don't forget, click the subscribe button while you're here too. Thanks for watching. Stay smooth out there. Bye.